So me and my husband have been married for 6.5 years. We're raising 4 kids together. We live very traditionally. I'm a stay-at-home mom. He's a police officer.
Wait, you got 4 kids in 6.5 years. Did a couple of kids come in the marriage?
Well, I had 2 before that, but he's been on the scene with them since they were 2 and 4 years old.
Okay.
So,
you brought 2 and y'all had 2 together?
Correct.
Okay. All right.
So as a police officer, he would work off duty at this nightclub. And for the past 2 years, he was saying he was divorced and we were just living and co-parenting. Then about, like I said, 6 weeks ago, I found out that he has been sleeping with 6 confirmed women. And I just found all the details out of his double life. They got in contact with me and they told me that he would take them to hotels and go to their apartments and tell me he was working. And I never questioned it. And then he would come home saying, oh, the club closes at 2. He'd be home at like 4 or 6 saying, I had to arrest someone or whatever. And then he would be telling these women, I love you, I want to be with you, not using a condom. So, of course, putting us at risk. And I just don't know how it's possible to be with someone who is supposed to be a police officer, have integrity, and protect people, but, preying on these young women because we're 41 years old. And I didn't know any of this was going on, and I don't know if I should fix it. Should I not fix it? I just don't know where to go with this.
Okay.
I actually talked to these women directly and got lots of details that it was like a double life.
How'd your conversation go with your husband?
He lied in the beginning, and I was like, well, just tell me if there's more. And he, of course, would lie, and then more came out, and then he got investigated from his police department because he had sex with one of these women while in uniform, while at work. And they said, well, aren't you with your wife? And he said, no, we're not together anymore. And then I got investigated when all this came to light. And of course I said, yes, we were together. I didn't know any of this was going on. So eventually he came clean with everything. Now he's in therapy and he wants to work it through. And it's just like,
Rose.
Yes.
Tell me about your first marriage.
We were also together 6 years. He's a respectable guy, a nurse practitioner, very decent dad. We're on great terms. We just weren't the best fit, I guess you would say. It was more practical, if that makes sense.
Nah, that's usually just that's window dressing. Why'd y'all get divorced?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, that was just like, really it was it. I was like, there's nothing really between us except practical things. We raise the kids, you work, I take care of the kids, but we don't have fun together. We don't go out. We don't have sex hardly. We don't really talk. We're just.
But all of those things are choices.
Yeah, of course.
Why did you guys create two good people who created 2 amazing kids? Why did y'all choose to not water the plants?
Oh, in the first marriage?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He was very unemotional. Just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. He's just, he wasn't like a romantic. Not that you need that, but I'm just saying he wasn't very.
Sure, you do. You need that.
Well, he wasn't like that, and I wasn't like that. So it was very this makes sense.
Hold on, you're telling me when people are like, I'm just not a romantic. That means they've gotten burned before.
Yeah,
even the most stoic, hardcore, elite military guys, and they're like, dude, they love some romance. No,
he was not like that. He's from Hungary. He's just different type. He's very just smart and by the book, and he doesn't even like to hold hands. He's just, I don't know, maybe he has his own issues we didn't talk about, but it was just.
Okay, so that's what I'm getting at. Tell me about before him.
I was single for 5 years.
What about before that?
Just, young high school and young in your 20s relationships, nothing too serious.
Okay. We could keep pulling the thread on this. Somewhere along the way, you got a very strong confirming message that Rose was not to be trusted by Rose. Why don't you trust your own gut?
In which way?
You don't need I'm super grateful for the call. But you don't need my experience or wisdom on this.
What should I do? Do I believe that he's going to change and
Rose,
not be a creep?
You tell me.
Or should I say bye?
You tell me.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Is
it best to stay together for the kids? Is it best to believe what he says and just live again practically? and never be able to trust this person I look as a predator now, honestly, like a predator.
You're answering your own question.
So yes, I should just
Hold
end
on.
it?
There's no possible way I'm going to let you off the hook like that.
Okay.
You have to be a grown-up and make this call. You have to be an adult and decide, I am worth protecting myself, my integrity, my health, my kids, my soul.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, somebody told you that you didn't know the right answers to what's best for you. And if your parents told you that, I hate it for you. Because parents should teach their kids what feelings are, how they work, how they don't tell the truth, and how to ultimately learn to trust yourself. And you didn't get that.
I try to trust him. He's a really good person until you see what they're really like. So I saw it.
I know, but what you're saying is what you're saying is insane. That's like saying, like, my bank account, I could see it. It was so huge until I looked at the numbers and there's no money in it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's like
I mean,
watched
that's what
this.
happens with a double life. You don't even know, like, the person. Like, I had literally no idea.
I know, and you feel insane right now.
Yeah, because I don't even go through his phone. That's a huge mistake.
No. It wasn't a mistake.
I trust someone.
Listen, here's the hardest part about what you're going through. Because if someone had asked you a year ago, hey, is your husband having multiple affairs? By the way, there's more than 6. You know that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Of course.
Your husband's having multiple affairs. And by the way, he's using public service as his smokescreen. By the way, there is countless number of police officers and police officers' wives listening to this, and they're burning with rage right now.
Yep.
Go be a bad person. Go do your thing. But how dare you say I'm arresting somebody? I'm taking bad guys off the street when you're committing adultery. I mean, don't use don't use this extraordinary gift to the community that we put our lives in danger every day. We make 1/3 of what we should be making, or 1/4 of what we should be making. How dare you use that as a smokescreen to go blow your family up?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But if I'd asked you a year ago, you think your husband's having multiple affairs with all kinds of random people, you'd be like, no. And here's what you tell me. I would know. And all of a sudden, you thought you would know. And now
it didn't enter my mind.
You feel crazy because you think that, oh my gosh, wives know, people know. And now you don't trust you.
Yeah.
And so I'm telling you, I'm not going to let you off the hook. I'm not just going to say, you need to do this. And by the way, if you've listened to this show for more than 30 seconds, you know what I think. But I want you to practice trusting you. And by the way,
well, it's easier said than done sometimes when you're,
are you kidding me? I know it is. And there is none. There is zero easy path forward for you. There is a divorce. You become a single mom of 4 kids with a guy who will lie directly to your face, who, by the way, doesn't make a ton of money as a police officer, so even half isn't going to be a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And so your dreams of staying at home, over.
Mm-hmm.
Your dreams of being able to be present for all these, I'm going to be a good classroom mother, those are over. And you have to exhale. Those are over.
Yeah.
And staying with somebody, to use your words, with a predator, someone who preys on 19 and 20-year-old girls.
Am I wrong? I mean, that's how I see this.
I'm just using your words, sister.
I mean, that's how I see it, because you were supposed to protect these people, not act like this, at work especially.
You're never going to feel safe in your own home.
Yeah.
So listen, there is no easy path. That means you have to choose your heart. Doing nothing is going to be a really hard life. Being a single mom with 4 kids is going to be a really hard life. And the old saying goes, not by your hand, but in your lap. You didn't cause this, yet here we are. And so you have to do the next right thing for you and those kids. And I don't know what that is for you. I
Oh,
know
man.
I know it'd be for me, but I'm not letting you off the hook. Rose, you know.
I just don't want to like make the kids' lives like so like
You didn't.
unpredictable.
You are responding to a bomb blast. You didn't detonate it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about just leaving him. I'm in therapy now. He's in therapy and separately. So, yeah, my therapist says you could either, like you said, there's two choices and that's it. You just have to pick one. And I wish it was that easy.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's like diet and exercise. Like, how do you lose weight? Diet and exercise. Oh, thanks, genius, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's real hard.
Well, I mean, with your experience, these people are just like this. I mean,
I don't believe in the phrase. I don't believe in the phrase "these people."
Well,
just as a general rule, I wouldn't do this job if I believed in the phrase "these people."
People that cheat, do they usually change I just feel like he's in a desperate state. That he'll do anything and he's just rushing to like fix what he's done.
This is
I don't
not
really believe that.
This situation, in my opinion, is not cheating. It is way bigger than cheating.
Yeah.
If somebody has a one-night stand with a work colleague and they come home and they're repentant and they deal with the root cause of their marriage, I think their marriage can be infinitely stronger than it was.
I agree.
Can somebody have a long-term affair and they finally come clean, or they get caught and it blows up everything, and two people sit down across the table from each other and decide to build something new? Absolutely. Absolutely. Can somebody live with somebody who is constantly lives a complete and utter other life, and not only disrespects you and the vows, but disrespects your physical health?
Yeah, and he took the kids saying they went on play dates around these other women's children. I'm like, what was the purpose of that? So it was just,
Rose.
deceitful everywhere.
I guess I'm confused with you, sweetheart. Like, I don't understand. Are you just in a fog of disbelief?
Not disbelief. I honestly don't know what to do, because when it comes down to, I could leave, I can stay. But what should I do? What makes the best sense for everyone? Not just me, how I feel, but like the children.
The greatest gift you can give your kids is an emotionally regulated mom.
Okay.
The greatest gift a couple can give their kids is two emotionally regulated adults. You do not have you don't have a partner who's emotionally regulated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well.
You're going to have to make this call for yourself. And by the way, don't read the comments on YouTube. Would you not do that, okay?
Okay.
Because everybody's got their opinion. Everybody's got their opinion.
Probably both.
No, they're going to call you and tell you you're stupid. They're going to get all mad about blah, blah, blah. Don't do that. And everybody listening, not all police officers are bad. In fact, very, very, very few of them are.
That's true.
I know that because my dad was one. He's an
okay.
outstanding man. I spent most of my career working with those guys.
So I should do what's best for me and the kids, is what you're ultimately saying.
Yes, and when you sit down with your therapist, I don't want you to say what's best for me. Because what's best for me is often couched in how things feel. I want you to ask, what is going to make me well and whole so that I can show up and be the mom and romantic partner that I can be?
Okay. Well, I'll try that.
Okay.
Okay.
And there, either choice you make, let me say this: just because it hurts, just because it's painful, just because it's scary, doesn't mean it's not the right move.
Yeah, I can agree with that. It's just to uproot everything. I mean, obviously not everything. I would get the house because of the kids, but it's just like this. I just don't want to give them like this unstable like environment. Now we're like going back and forth, and it's just like so weird. And because he's been around my other kids since they were little, now they're like, "What's going on?" So,
listen, I don't think you've metabolized it fully. Your life as you knew it is over.
Mm-hmm.
It is an ash. Any step you take from this point forward is a step to rebuild something.
Okay.
Do you want to trust this person to rebuild your marriage together? Or do you want to rebuild your life as a single mother of 4?
They all seem bad choices, but I get what you're saying.
They both are awful choices.
Yeah.
But you keep trying to make it go back to before this happened. And by the way, have you gone to get tested?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Oh, yes.
Good.
Yep, I sure did.
Can I just say this? Do me a huge favor. Take
Yeah.
a huge, huge breath, as deep a breath as you can, and hold it.
Okay.
Big, as deep as you can.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, exhale. I want you to pull your shoulders all the way down. Pull them down like to your hips, as low as you can.
Okay. Done.
I'm sorry this happened to you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
They're like, for real.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. I'm sorry this happened.
Well, I appreciate you talking some sense. Or, I mean, not that I didn't already know, but making
Here's the only
sense
sense I'm going to give you. I trust Rose to make the next right move, even when Rose doesn't.
I hope I do.
No, you will. You will. You will. I trust you. I trust you. And to reduce this to my husband cheated on me, that's not here. That's not the situation. This is a way, way bigger deal than that. Whew. Thanks for the call, Rose. Man, this one gets under my skin. I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Or I'm going to get myself canceled.